the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight we'll be watching the Indiana Pacers playing against the New York Knicks. For the Knicks, they need some wins to start adding up here in a hurry. More or less half the season behind us, and they are still struggling to prove they can contend. It has been an interesting ride thus far. Kenny, some teams really improving after a sluggish start.
Yeah, well, credit the people running those franchises. Always look to improve. That's what you have to do if you're a franchise head. You can't just sit back and say, hey, we're going to accept this mediocrity.
No matter what your record is.
No question.
You know, season is a marathon, not a sprint.
Let me write that one down.
Just keep trusting yourself.
The season is a marathon,
not a sprint.
Not a sprint.
And then make sure you put Shaq-Stradamus.
Shaq-Stradamus.
Did you actually make that up?
Something that was already said many moons ago.
I've
never heard that
You're
before.
acting like it's your original thought.
It is my original.
I've never heard that before.
It's not a marathon, it's a sprint. Yeah, get it.
Who said that before? I've never heard that.
Oh.
I got one for you, Ernie.
What's that?
E equals MC tripled.
Oh.
Never heard that either.
No, nobody has ever said that either.
Think about it.
I've thought about it all I want.
I did the math. It doesn't work.
Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast of the Pacers live from Indianapolis, Indiana. The NBA on 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us this Sunday afternoon. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. You look at New York. This is an important game for them because they've really been struggling. Just one win in their last 5 games.
And it's in your DNA. You come up against a natural rival, you're going to be a little bit salty.
And that's what makes it fun. You love seeing these two teams go head to head. They're going all out.
Both sides will try and push it on the fast break doors to get easy scores. Talk a bit about playing fast, but also playing with efficiency.
Well, you look no further than the Golden State Warriors, who, when they are playing with pace and out in transition and the threes are flying, it's electric and, frankly, almost unstoppable. But they walk that delicate line of playing fast without turning it over. You want to give these great players freedom, but within that freedom, they've got to make sure, okay, we've got to value the basketball, and yes, we can maybe turn it over 10 times per game, but we get north of 10, 15 turnovers, and that's going to put us in a little bit of a problematic situation.
Good analysis. So the New York starting 5, we've got Knox. Julius Randle is out there with Robinson, and it's ABC, and it's Smith in at the point guard position. Robinson, that's good.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
And that's not the type of defense you want to play, right? You've got to make it more difficult than that. Layups are too easy.
Now here's Turner. He's definitely not pleased how he played against Philadelphia.
That's his first personal foul.
First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Oladipo misses. And so it's Randle bringing it up now for the New York Knicks. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, nowhere near at their best throughout the course of that game. A scrappy performance, but in the end, just not enough.
You know, their energy kicked in down the stretch, but too many mistakes overall. Just was not their night.
Robinson with the block. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Turner. The Knicks have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. Holiday against Smith. Pass to Knox from outside the arc. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Gentlemen, if ever there was a market that is aching for a competitive team, it is New York. The last time the Knicks saw the playoffs, 2013. Boy, does that feel like an eternity ago.
Now, here's Oladipo. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia.
Tremendous defense. Boy, they're putting an emphasis on not giving him a clean look inside.
Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line. And thinking back to the Knicks' last postseason appearance, they had some hard-nosed guys on that team.
They sure did. Guys like Tyson Chandler, Kenyon Martin, Jason Kidd. Listen, we know New York's a tough town. Their fans appreciate rooting for those gritty-type players. But in the end, at this point, whatever gets them wins will make them happy.
That free throw good from Randall. Here's Holiday taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. So the Pacers call timeout. They're first of the game. Let's send it over to Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Nate McMillan. David.
Well, Kevin, they're going to keep it simple tonight. He wants to run everything through the low post. He told me physically we're the stronger team. We need to use that strength to our benefit. Back to you.
Thank you, David.
Want me to cue and freeze? Nah, not me, never that G. On my go-to face with me. As you can see, I got my go-to face on. And they can't when I got my go-to face on. Pull up at the show, I put my go-to face on. Feds on my case, but I got my go-to face on. So just act like I told you. You can tell by the look on my face I ain't made to do nothing else but poetry. Just tell all the man that wrote you. That's why better know plus one. Questions are big, you don't ask me any. I don't wanna hear nothing other than go true. And here's your bottle of hello. Born and raised in the ghetto. They chat to police in my single settle. Put on my go-to face and swing at MC all over the place. Come true stinking at white Air Max Stone at the panel. And he's very loud, so excuse me if I get a little bit pyro.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Oladipo. 7th in steals, and he's right up there in the top 20 in scoring. Certainly a force to be reckoned with offensively.
And talk about being top 10 in steals. I love his jumping the passing lanes and then stealing away your dribble. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Up top, Randall. And Randall throws it down.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
No, exactly right. You can't afford to get complacent, right? They have to stay hungry and humble if they want to keep this lead.
Here's Warren following the score by New York. Stolen by Robinson. At the elbow, Smith. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And it's early, but obviously you've got to like the dominance down low. They're simply bullying the other team right now.
And slam dunk by Sabonis.
You can get a real sense that Victor Oladipo loves sharing the wealth. What a nice look.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Victor Oladipo with huge improvement in his game doors last season.
What an incredible leap this young man took. His efficiency was up across the board. He was better from three-point territory. He proved, Kevin, he could carry an offense. I mean, this guy is a legit star in the NBA now.
Now, here's Sabonis. He's coming off a 19-point game against Philadelphia.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collected huge amounts of rebounds.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Oladipo taking his time here. Pass to Sabonis. That's basket number 2 with his third shot, off to a fast 2 for 3.
This guy's a skilled interior scorer. There's height, there's great shot selection. Sabonis doing work right now.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. In the past, it has been suggested, Doris, that up-tempo teams couldn't maintain that style and then go on to win the playoffs. Is that an outdated theory and thought process?
Well, I think it has always contingent on the team, Kevin. You think back to the Lakers Showtime era, when the reality is those were up-tempo Showtime-type teams, right? They could sustain it. But I think the fact of the matter is the teams that sustain success are the ones that can play in virtually any style. Can they play up-tempo if you allow them? Certainly. But when the game slows, particularly in the playoffs and the postseason, can you execute in the half court? Because you've got to be able to play both ways, I think, to win in the modern NBA.
Both teams will make substitutions. With a break in the action, let's take a peek at the top rebounding teams in the NBA this season. The Knicks, fourth.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
Randall against Sabonis. Trier passes to Randall. Right side Gibson. That'll go on McDermott. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Trier, defended by Jack. Clock at 2. Here's Trier.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
New York, no good that time either. McDermott passes to Sabonis, and Gibson sends it back.
Boy, Gibson's so good at timing these rejections. Twice on the pipes from Taj.
Over to the left wing. Bullock sinks the triple.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they've wanted it more. Outstanding hustle and determination throughout.
Now here's McDermott. He's usually able to provide some lift to his team, averaging 6 points a game. Over in the corner, Lamb. Shoots over Bullock. Lamb, good.
Well, this is a guy who understands his role in their offense, right? And they know exactly how to use him.
To the wing on the left. Randall down low, defended by Sabonis. 2 points, that one goes.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
16 seconds left in the first. Here's Lamb. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the 76ers in Philadelphia. Indiana needs to get a shot off. From the wing, doesn't get it to drop for him. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. It's the Knicks leading by 17. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Indianapolis. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And the Knicks guys have been rolling right along here, haven't they?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
I think one key is they've controlled the tempo so far. And I know it's early, but it helps to have this kind of lead.
Pacers trail by 17.
How about the Indiana Pacers last year? There were so many that predicted them to be a lottery candidate, And instead, they end up with 48 wins, finish as the 5th seed in the East. Woo-hoo, what a year.
And New York, looking at who they've got. Taj Gibson is out there with Julius Randle. Then there's Wayne Ellington. Then there's Reggie Bullock. And it's Dotson in at the 2. Now here's Gibson. Rebounded by Lamb. And Doris, the Pacers were one of last season's biggest surprises.
How about they took LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers to a Game 7 in the first round? That's the first time a team has ever taken LeBron to Game 7 in the opening round of the playoffs. Yes, they lost, but what a great learning experience for a young team.
No good from Gibson. And here's Jack. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Trailing by 17.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Yeah, and an example of why you want to let the game come to you. The opening presented itself, he converted in a big way.
So it's the Knicks now, following the score by Indiana. Here's Randle. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Defensive positioning so important, and he could not have played him better there.
And Brewer kicks to Lamb. Now the pass to Jack.
Well, you think about the New York Knicks last season and any number of challenges they faced. Jarrett Jack was probably the closest thing they had to a legit playmaker in the NBA. Here's a guy who led his team with 5.5 assists per game.
The Pacers shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. And some changes here for the Pacers. Turner's checked in for ABC. Warren comes in for Doug McDermott. And it's Victor Oladipo in for Lamb. Good on the second free throw. Now, here is Smith, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Shot clock at 5. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
This is Smith Jr. in a nutshell, a fearless guy who takes on all comers when he's looking to score.
And you know, Dennis Smith Jr. is a player who just is oozing with confidence when you see him play.
Yeah, I just love how Smith Jr. will attack every player he goes up against. Chris Paul, who Smith Jr. goes way back with, noticed how even as a rookie, he approaches every challenge head on. As a rookie, Smith Jr. was just jawing at the vets and dunking on everyone. He has the game to back up that personality.
The free throw drops for Smith.
And you know, known for that rim-rocking dunking ability, Smith Jr., though, a special talent. This is a guy who wants to keep getting better over time.
And so the timeout taken by Nate McMillan here, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
And really, I just felt like they didn't compete, particularly on the backboard, probably their weakest area in that game.
Got absolutely trounced on the glass. A lack of passion for an important aspect of the game.
And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for ABC. averaging 15 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
Well, and this is exactly who he is, a flat-out scoring machine. You plug him in and let him go to work.
Now here is Holiday. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him.
Oh boy, that's 2 on him now. And if he gets a third foul before halftime, his playing time is going to have to be limited for a bit.
Off the inbound, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Oladipo's got his first points in this one. The Knicks leading by 15. Ellington the pass to Knox. And the foul on Victor Oladipo. That's his first foul. A lot of responsibility, Doris, in being the focal point of an offense. What characteristics have you seen are shared among NBA players who carry the load offensively for their teams every game?
Right, this is a great separation point to me in the NBA because there are a lot of outstanding players at the level on any given night in the NBA. But Kevin, there is a select few players who are willing to share the lion's share of the responsibility. Men like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook. Like, you have to be prepared 82 times per year to step between the lines, shoulder the load, and sometimes when you underperform, to bear the criticism that comes with that responsibility. And Kevin, you know this. That's a select few player who's willing to absorb that.
Good thoughts.
An average shooter from deep. It's clear Smith Jr. has the touch and focus. Just needs to be more consistent.
Pacers trail by 18. Holiday dishes to Oladipo. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Oladipo's got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, I thought he was rushing his shot early on, but not here in the second quarter.
Smith finds Ellington. Here's ABC, covered by Brewer, and it's in there. And the Knicks lead by 18.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Oladipo, left side, shoots over Ellington, and the foul on Miles Turner. That's foul number 2 for him. Sabonis, he's checked in for Corey Brewer. And New York with a change here, too. Trier, he's checked in for Wayne Ellington. New York leading by 18. 1:43 left to play in the first half. Here's Trier, guarded by Oladipo. Trier passes to Knox. Just 5 to shoot. Goes back up, and that's 2 points on the layup.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
And Holiday kicks to Sabonis. Oladipo, great pass to set up the lay-in. Oladipo's got 6 points.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Smith the pass to Knox. Now Robinson, defended by Sabonis. Passes it to Knox. Here's Trier. He's still scoreless so far in this one, and it goes down 2 points. 41 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Holiday against Smith. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
That's his first shot, gentlemen.
The Pacers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Holiday at the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
And that one misses. And some changes here for the Pacers. ABC's checked in for Turner. Doug McDermott comes in for Warren. And Jeremy Lamb subbed in for Oladipo. And he sinks the second.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Randall. Off the left rim and out.
He does everything right except drain the shot.
McDermott kicks to Lamb. The shot that time, not on target. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Knicks lead by 19. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. New York was looking great right away. They ended up scoring 14 unanswered points, really doing damage early. The effort, the intensity, impressive. And by the end of one, they found themselves up by a rousing 17 points. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. Taking a look at the Knicks, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, it comes down to confidence. From the opening tip, these guys had that swag. They had the attitude that you can't beat us, we could only beat ourselves.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And you know I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
A flyover of downtown gives you a great perspective of our location as we welcome you back to Indianapolis. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. A fantastic game from Dennis Smith in this one.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
I think, Greg, we're seeing a couple things. Terrific play calling, unselfish nature, and quality shooting. That makes for good offense.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Sabonis and Turner inside. Then there's Victor Oladipo. Then there's Warren, and it's Holiday in at the point. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Warren, the pass to Sabonis. 18 feet out. That shot, no good. Now the Knicks take it the other way. It's not often that you can land a franchise player via trade, but that's what the Pacers were able to do with Victor Oladipo.
And now the question becomes for Indiana, how do you build around Victor Oladipo, right? The front office has done a great job the last few seasons collecting talent. They continue to add shooting on the perimeter to help space the floor, and now you're starting to see some inside scoring threats develop. This is an interesting organization.
Here's Randall after the made shot from Victor Oladipo. Randall dishes to Smith. And the foul on Miles Turner. That's his third foul of the game.
That's his third personal foul.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Five on the clock. Here's ABC, guarded by Oladipo. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. The Pacers making a switch here. Jack's checked in, and the Pacers call time here. Doris, one thing the Knicks did really well last season, protect the rim.
Well, you think about the New York Knicks over the past 3 years. They have been top 10 in block shots in each of those three. They have been one of the taller teams in the league. Perimeter defense has been the bigger issue for the New York Knicks.
And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for New York.
And clearly, this is a squad that makes its living in the paint. Very few teams are as determined to get the ball inside as much as they are. They aren't going to settle for jump shots. They're going to continue to pound it down low.
Warren finds Turner, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Well, 6'11", 255 pounds. Miles Turner using that size to his advantage.
Smith the pass to Randall. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
That's his fourth personal foul.
He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line.
Taking 2 shots.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Randall. A lot of times late in the season, Doris, we see the expensive vets bought out of their contracts. Often they sign for a cheap price for a true contender, and that affects parity among postseason qualifiers.
No doubt about it, Kevin. It really brings into very sharp focus the value of a quality GM, because the rich can get richer,
yes,
and it can tilt things toward the top teams. I don't mind it, Kevin. Part of the reason these players agree to a buyout in the first place is the opportunity to choose their next situation. It is within the rules, and therefore I have no problem with it.
I like it as well. Now, here's Oladipo. 8 points for him. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And you can feel that Oladipo was on the verge of a breakthrough, and boy, did he ever. Everything came together for him, and he is now not only an elite scorer, but an all-star. Can attack from any distance and has a variety of ways to hurt the defense.
The first one falls. And for Oladipo, Greg, there wasn't just one moment that gave him that push.
I mean, his development was less of having a eureka moment and more of everything just coming together. Has always had the strong athleticism, has refined his shot to make the most of it, and while it took him some time, he's now the player everyone hoped he'd be when he was the second overall pick.
You think about the Indiana Pacers and some of the young pieces they have to build around. Victor Oladipo has proven to be a legit all-star. Miles Turner is brimming with potential, and Domantas Sabonis. These are all guys you can build around. I'm excited to watch the development of this organization.
And the D just a step slow reacting to the step back.
And Jack kicks to Turner. Oladipo goes in, and that one drops. Oladipo's got 6 points in the quarter. And Doris, when you talk about the young core of this Pacers team, you have to mention Paul George and the trade that sent him to Oklahoma City.
I'll tell you, this is an organization, Kevin, that took tremendous criticism in the face of that Paul George trade. But Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis have proven counter to the argument that they didn't get enough. These are two talented young players who this organization can build around.
Now here's Ellington. Victor Oladipo unable to get his last shot to go. Jack against Smith. It's deflected. Now Warren, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Doris, you were the first female commentator to ever call a Knicks game on radio or television, and I imagine you remember that first broadcast very well.
I sure do, Kevin. It was against the Bucks. I filled in for the great Clyde Frazier, and the Knicks had just made it to the finals the year before, so it was exciting on a number of levels.
Two.
That free throw, no good. Well, he was fired by the Grizzlies 19 games into last season, Doris, but Coach David Fizdale with a fresh start now with the Knicks in New York.
Well, you think about in Memphis, he tried to shift from the grit and grind to a more modern NBA style, and I think he encountered some resistance there. With the Knicks, more of a clean slate, a chance to build the culture from the ground up.
And he's good on the second.
Well, we know that Victor Oladipo is a combo guard, meaning he can play the 1 and the 2. What I like is how impressive his overall game is and the fearlessness with which he plays. Wow.
Inside. Now, here's Bullock. Defense is right there. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Miles Turner. The Knicks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Only shooting 71 really on the season, so there is plenty of room for improvement.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. And so Bullock nails both of them.
Boy, his free throw shooting has been on the mark tonight. Nothing new there, right?
Pass to ABC. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Indiana Pacers. On Tuesday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors.
And for that matchup with the Wizards, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
First one falls for him.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
And he can't hit the second. The Knicks leading by 15. Here's the teardrop. And it's Bullock missing. And here's Oladipo. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. New York called for the foul. The Pacers have shot 60% from the line, 6 of 10.
2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. The Pacers making a switch here. Holiday's checked in. He hits the second from the line. The Knicks leading by 14. 2
minutes.
Here's Dotson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. They get it again. And Randall throws it down.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, guys, we have got in the NBA.
The tireless work ethic, the passion. He's a guy the team relies on for that.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
And guys, you know, you never run out of things that you can improve upon.
I think, Greg, it's important to keep that hunger, right? You're always striving to get better and to change things up.
I just want to make a grown man cry. I thought away because you started to remind me. It's no mistake. Now we both like space and David Attenborough and lemonade and anime. You walked in, I wanted you. I followed, but I tried to keep. It's patient, but I got to tell. 'Cause I just wanna make.
And looking now at some numbers here for Randall. What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. Averaging 17 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. He has been at his most dynamic, no question about it, a real handful.
Let's make no mistake, one of the elite talents in the NBA and operating at the highest level right now.
Now here is Holiday. Pass to Lamb. Back to Holiday. Just 5 on the clock. The pass to ABC. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by New York. They led the game at one point by 20. And Greg, what's not to like about Taj Gibson?
I mean, he's a hard worker defensively, finishes well inside, he's got the mid-range shooting touch. But what I like most, really, his unselfishness. He started, came off the bench, no complaints. This is a guy that just wants to win.
Here's Holiday following the score by New York. Passes it to ABC. 11 feet away. He doesn't hit that one. The Knicks go the other way with it. There's 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Bullock passes to Trier. Randall left side. Pass to Trier. From deep. The rebound by Turner. Pacers trail by 18. McDermott with it. Back to Turner. He kicks it to McDermott. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Indiana moving the ball around. And the Pacers can't get it to go. And so it's New York with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Back to the action after this word. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. New York leading by 18. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth, they've got Taj Gibson. He's out there with Robinson. Trier out there with Reggie Bullock. And it's Dotson in at the 2 spot.
Improving on the defensive end as well. Domantas Sabonis getting tenacious there with the block shot.
To the paint, here's ABC. Robinson with the block. And he's able to get it back. And they'll keep possession. And Holiday kicks to Lamb. And here's McDermott. Goes up again. The rebound by Gibson.
Boy, I didn't think he had a chance of stopping that lay-in. What a gutsy defensive play.
Sabonis with the steal. Here's Lamb. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. And haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Doris, you think of all the highlight reel plays we get to see up close. We're so lucky. We feel the same way every time we sit courtside and watch one of these games. One of the most enjoyable parts about it, seeing the reactions of the guys on the bench.
They're just losing it, Kevin. They're falling down and they're bumping into each other, and then seeing the opposing bench trying to keep that poker face. They know they're not supposed to react, but sometimes the play is just so good you can't help it.
And we get out of our seats, don't we? I mean, just like the players do. We get out of our seats.
Oh, no doubt. I'll stand up, wave my hands in the air. Are you kidding?
Here's ABC to the middle. Here's Warren. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Well, you like the effort of T.J. Warren, capitalizing when he's shooting in the painted area.
Smith the pass to Barrett. He feeds it to Robinson. And finished off by Robinson.
And ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Great teamwork. That's something you develop by practicing it over and over again.
So it's the Pacers now. The Knicks making the shot. Sabonis with the bucket.
Check out that assist. You can tell a player who's seeing the whole floor very well.
And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for the New York Knicks. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. He gets it in there.
You know Dennis Smith, his first instinct is to shoot, and when he's hot, look out.
Holiday looking over the floor. Pass to Lamb. Here's ABC. And again, it's Indiana. The Knicks leading by 19 points. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Here's Dotson. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 4 assists in the game.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Now here's Lamb. Outside Warren. There's the pass to Lamb. Holiday against Smith. Clock at 6. Stolen by Robinson. Now here is Smith. Shoots a 3. And again, New York with the triple.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. And Lamb kicks to Holiday. Doris, last year the NBA signed a deal to broadcast G League games on the internet channel Twitch.
Well, you know Adam Silver is always looking at new methods for broadcasting this great league and the G League. And I think we live in an era of an increasingly digital world. The next generation views their platforms in non-traditional, non-linear fashion. So to me, this is really smart decision making.
I know you're a big Twitch watcher yourself. You subscribe, and like me, you love the G League.
I'm always twitching.
And Gibson kicks to Smith. 4 on the clock. Here's Barrett. Sabonis grabs the board. Sabonis has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Outside Warren. From the line, Dotson with the rebound. Dotson's got 4 rebounds in this game. Pass to Smith. Over Holiday. Smith, no good. For Indiana, they've gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth, 4 of 9.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Knicks.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still, 2 more to go in the season series.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions and the nice night it ended up being for Robinson.
You can do a lot to change a game other than scoring, and it was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat.
Here's Lamb after New York gets the 3. Knocked away. Fires the 3. Nailed from three-point land.
And finally finding a rhythm, but unfortunately a little too late.
Well, you wonder if they can use the momentum they've built here into the next game, because this one looks over.
Now, here is Smith. Left side, Gibson. New York needs to get off a shot. Here's Barrett. No good from outside. So no problem for New York as they get the win. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Kevin, with Julius Randle. And Julius, you get it done at multiple ends. Where has your focus been in terms of approach?
Just taking what the defense gives me. I'm a lot more patient, let the game come to me. Don't really try to force things as much. Sometimes I get out of character, but just try my hardest to let the game come to me the most.
Well, you were a big part of the win tonight, Julius. Thanks for your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.